Hey, good evening and blessings out there, everybody. It's your man, Rod Hickman, generational wealth builders where poverty ends with us. Listen, super excited to be on today. Listen, we got a whole lot of stuff coming up here that's really um, I'm super excited about because our business has taken off. We've already punched through the stratosphere. I don't know what's after that, but I'm sure excited about finding out. But listen, super glad to be on here today. Not going to be on too long, but I do want to let you know that on tomorrow noon Central Time, we have a treat. We are going to have our podcast. It's what we call our Savages Den. Now, Savages Den is a place where we go and we chop it up, right? Think of it kind of like, um, in the old days when you would have pirates and how, they would all come to the one place. They were all pirates. They respected one another, but what I'm saying, they still would chop it up there. That's what the Savages Den is all about. It's a place where you can't come and be in your feelings, right? You have to want to improve. You have to want to come up. You have to be on a mission. And you have to really be excited about transforming your life and the lives of those that are connected to you. Well, listen, not going to talk too much here today, but I do want to let you know that on tomorrow, as I said, on tomorrow noon, we are having the Savage Den podcast with Mr. Anquan Bolden, Super Bowl champion, multiple Pro Bowl winner, as well as he's already in the 2023 class for a Hall of Famer when it comes to work playing in the National Football League. And he is my little cousin, so we're super excited about that. Gonna have him on tomorrow. We're gonna talk about faith, finances, and family. And so we're super excited about that. So really want you all to tune in because again, he and I chopped it up probably sometime in September, and what was supposed to be about a 15-minute call ended up being like over an hour because again, we just saw how so many of our views align. Again, I just really want you to hear from him. I want you to hear his story, hear where he came from, hear where he is now, what he's doing now, and again, just how he has progressed so far. So again, just one more time, tomorrow at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern time, we are hosting Mr. Anquan Bolden. Super excited about that. And listen, so what I wanted to talk to you about today was, so I'm working with a client right now. And the client is an older person, and they have some money in an annuity. And one of the things that they were concerned about was running out of money, as well as not really seeing growth in their money. And so we were sitting down talking, and we looked at some of the products and services that we have. And it's amazing how many people, when they see the products that we have, and I'm talking about retirement products, but when they see our retirement product, it never ceases to amaze me to see how many people are like, Rod, I didn't know. Why didn't I know about this beforehand? Why didn't somebody tell me about this earlier? And it's that old adage where hindsight is 2020. But listen to me. Hindsight is really only 2020 if nobody ever told you, right? It's ignorance if you had access to it, but you never used it, right? Think about that. It's hindsight is 2020 if you didn't know, then you learned because you didn't know. But if somebody was trying to tell you, hey man, look at here, you're on a sinking ship and you didn't listen, then it's really not hindsight, is it? That's really kind of what you call a bought lesson. And so he and I were talking, and I'll never forget the look in his eyes when I showed him how if we just take the money that he has, where he has it stashed, and we showed him how we'll be able to cut him a check. And he looked at me and like, really, man, you can literally get me that kind of check and I'll get these numbers for the rest of my life. Say, absolutely, sir. That's the way it's actually designed. That's the way fixed index annuities are designed, and that's the way they're set up. And he was like, man, this is unbelievable. And so that got me to thinking. And y'all, if you know me, I'm very analytical. I'm kind of always in my head about something. I'm always trying to work out a new problem. So I said to myself, self, and self said, huh? I said, well, I see where this gentleman is at as it relates to where he is for retirement. But I wonder where the average person is. Because this gentleman is, again, Par excellent. Great, great man. I have much respect for. But here's the thing about that. I wondered where the average American is. And I know I've heard some numbers thrown around as it relates to people's retirement account. So I got out here and got to looking. I said, you know what? I really want to see how much, what's the average, right? What is the average that people have in their 401k plans, right? And I'm going to pivot now. I'm letting you know I'm going to pivot a little later on, but just stay with me here. I really want to know how much people have in their retirement plan. The second part to that question is this: is it going to be enough for them to maintain the same standard of living that they have now? Or are they going to have to start cutting corners? Are they going to have to do other things, right? So these are the kind of questions that are in my mind. So I just want y'all to understand that. That's how I process things. So let's take a look. So I'm reading this article by The Ascent, and it's a subsidiary of the Motley Fool. And it talks about here are the average 401k balances by age. Now, by no means is this definitive, right? But this is just saying an average, meaning you look at it overall, it's an average, right? And again, some may be higher, some may be lower, but again, that's where you get an average from. So we come down here, and if we look at these numbers, folks, it's telling us the retirement balances by age. Now, again, let's look at less than 25. Now again, you don't really expect 25-year-olds to be preparing for retirement, but they should, because what Albert Einstein said was one of the 8 wonders of the financial world is compound interest, which means if you start early with the right vehicle, your money will grow for you exponentially. That's what he was saying. And I'm going to show you that here in a bit. But notice this. What he's saying is by the time you're 35 to 44, it's about $76,000. That's the average. But median is more realistic, right? Median, the way they have it defined right here. And I'll put this link in the chat just so y'all can kind of follow along. So y'all don't think I'm out here trying to be janky or nothing, right? But here we go. Notice what he's saying is, the average balance is about $76,000, but the median or more realistic is almost $30,000. That ain't no money. That is no money, right? Especially when you're talking about what you need to live on for the rest of your life, that's no money. I hope you'll agree with me on that. Now, you move on down. They're saying, okay, 45 to 54. Again, the average is 142, but look at the median, meaning more realistically, people have less than $50,000. And watch this. Here, they're 14 years away from retirement, 13 to 14 years away from retirement, and you only have $48,000. Come on, man. Again, when you look at it, think about it this way. If your annual income is $30,000 a year, let's lowball it. Let's say your annual income is $30,000 a year. That means you only have a little over a year and a half of your income. But Social Security, yeah, how much is Social Security a year? Think Social Security is what? Maybe $20,000. So what the point being is that when you retire, you do not want to diminish your lifestyle. You want to maintain it. And that's why it's imperative that you grow your retirement, right? You have to grow your retirement. So let's keep on keeping on. They're saying between 55 and 64, the average number is 207, but look at here, more realistically, $71,000. And then you get to age 65 and up, it's 232, but really the median number is really more $70,000. And why am I showing you that? I'm showing you that, folks, because we've got to take a look that the numbers are there. There was a time when a 401k made sense, but not before all of the taxes went up and not before with all this inflation that we have. And so that's one thing that we have to make sure, or should I say you have to make sure that you're doing when you look out for you and for your family. You've got to make sure that you're watching out for them. Now, here we go. I'll show you how a 401k works, right? And again, I love doing this because, again, this is as easy peasy to understand this. This is as easy peasy as it comes. I promise you. So let's take a look here. And so if you've been with us for a little while, you know what I'm showing you here, the 401k trap. And why do I call it a trap? Because it's not designed to work for you. It basically, gives your employer, it gives them tax benefits, but we're going to see how that works for you. So let's say you're an individual, and we used the number earlier, $30,000. So the company's only going to match you if they match you 5%. That means that they are going to now give you $1,500 a year. And let's just say your contribution is $1,500. If I said 15,000, I mean 1,500, right? So that means your annual total contribution is $3,000 a year. And let's just say you did that over 35 years. That means you'll have about $105,000 that's been contributed by you as well as by your employer. Again, taking into consideration that they actually give it to you that whole 30 years, because y'all do know that sometimes when employers run into little snags, they will stop giving you that money in the 401k. All right. So let's just say that in the market, let us say, again, we're saying for players, we used to say when I was younger. Let's say that your $105,000 investment grew and it matched what you put in. So now at the end of your retirement, at the end of 35 years, you have about $210,000 after 35 years. But you know who got to get his piece? Uncle Sugar. Uncle Sugar gonna get his check. You ain't even got to worry about that. He gonna get his. So after he get his, that means that this person is left with $151,000, which is a little more than 5 years of his annual income. So if you multiply that 30K times 5, you get that $150,000, right? I hope that makes sense. Now, we're seeing this number. That's all bad, but watch this. This number lines up pretty much. If I'm honest, these numbers are a lot more friendly than what we just saw in the article when it comes to the median numbers. They were showing the median numbers weren't over $70,000. All right, so watch me now. So how do you know, and I can hear some of you, Rod, well, how much money do I need when I retire? Well, I'm about to show you. So this is how you calculate how much money you need from the day that you say, you know what, I'm retiring, I'm out of here. So you take your annual salary and you say, okay, how many years of funding are you going to need? Most people, if they retire at 67, they at least plan for 85 to 90 years old, right? So what we're going to do, we're just going to say 25 years. So if you need 25 years of your annual salary, that means bare bone minimum, you need to have at least $750,000. I hope y'all see how that makes sense. All we did was add this 30,000 times this 25. That's what you need to have. Brother, we're a long way off according to that article, right? We're a long way off from that. What that shows us is right now, this individual has almost a $600,000 delta in being able to maintain their same standard of living. Does that make sense? So this is why these numbers matter, and you have to look at the retirement numbers, and you have to know and study those numbers. So hey, again, $600,000, that's a lot, folks. Come on here. That's a whole lot. Literally what this means is this individual is not going to be able to enjoy retirement. 2 years tops, they're going to be back working again. But who wants to go back to work after they've retired? You've worked your whole life. Why would you not be able to have those years to be able to do what it is that you want to do? Again, even if you do consult, start an LLC, do some, go golfing, go volunteer at the school, do some things that you want to do, that you put off, that you weren't able to do. That's what retirement is all about. It's not about you having to go back to work and do all this and that, thus and so. All right. Now, that's the 401k. That's how it works. Again, A lot of people are going to try to tell y'all, well, no, you know, he kind of oversimplifying it and this, that, and the other. Well, again, if I'm oversimplifying it, why does that article have it on there and what people's retirement is? Skip that. Let's not even talk about the article. Let's talk about what's in people's wallets. Let's talk about how many people you see going back to work after they actually retired from a job. How many people do you know are elderly people that you know, what we call them our baby boomers? How many of the baby boomers are concerned that they don't have enough money to live off of for the rest of their life? Ask them. They'll tell you. If they're going to keep it 100 with you, they'll tell you, right? And again, it's imperative that we start studying the numbers. I'm telling you, if you all could have seen the look in that gentleman's eyes when I showed him how that money that he had, if we just roll it over, he's going to get a check for the rest of his life. And he looked at it and said, man, that's good money. That's what he said. That's not what that's what he said, man, that's some good money there. That I can really have that. And then this is what he said. He said, man, what if I would have did this 10 years ago? I said, you don't want me to show you them numbers, bro. Don't do that to yourself. You don't want me to show you them numbers. There's no reason for you to go back and look in the past because we can't do it. But again, though what we're getting at is his money would have grown exponentially. So let me show you how we help our clients save money and our response to a 401k. And when I say our response to it, what I mean is this: when our clients are putting their money in our products, it's protected and it's going to be there. So let me share this with you real quick. So let's just say, for example, and I call it the scratch off trap, right? Because people love gambling, right? Have y'all ever noticed that, you know, when they want to get our eyes and attention off stuff, here come the Powerball. The Powerball jump up to $500,000, and before you know it, it's 900 and some odd billion dollars. And then some obscure person, okay, don't worry about it. But again, let's take this here. Someone that's doing an average scratch off, $200 a month, right? So at $200 a month, watch this. If they started investing at the age of 18, by the time they get to the age 67, they would have invested $117,000, right? That was their investment. At the age of 25, if they would have put, again, just $200 a month, $2,400 a year. Come on, y'all. We eat that up in restaurants, right? Unless you're taking my wife out, you know what I mean? God almighty, yeah. But either way, right? So in 42 years, that person would have invested $100,000. Here, $76,800, and then down here, $52,800, right? If they got started to the age of retirement. Now, let us look and see how this money gonna grow. So, utilizing a fixed index annuity, watch me now. That 18-year-old person's, their $117,000 would be about $6.25 million. $6.2 million. Now, let me ask you something out there, fam. For those of you all that hear this, can we keep it 100 that if you had $6.2 million by the age you 67, a lot of us ain't gonna make it to 67? Am I right about it? A lot of us probably gonna cut off a few years earlier, right? Maybe at 60. But guess what? If you did it at 60, you would have contributed about $100,000. And you have about $3.2 million. Come on here. I'm showing you the numbers. These are real deal numbers now. These ain't nothing I just pulled out the sky. This is real deal from one of the providers that we work with. Well, let's say you got started a little late. You put in $76,000. You still have a meal ticket. You still would have over $1 million a year. And watch this. If you got over $1 million a year, what did it say that you needed? It said all you needed was $750,000. That's all it said that you needed if you make $30,000 a year. So what I'm showing you folks is this, is that if you just look into these products here, man, you'll have way more than what you need. Here, you would have over 4 times the amount that they say you need. right here. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, almost over four times what you need, right? Because 750 and 750, 1.5, right? So you'll be good to go. You will be good to go. And then look at here. Come on, man. You on the French Riviera. You riding Lambo, bro. You get what I'm saying? This is why it is important for you to look at your retirement numbers. Don't wait till it's too late. Let us help you. Let us help you move your money to a place where it can grow and you can have exponential growth. Watch this with no losses. That's the kicker behind it. There are zero losses with this. Zero. And when I say zero, I mean zero. And that's what we show our clients how to do. And that client that I'm working with now, again, I'll just say this. The carrier that his money is with right now is nervous. So first of all, what they did, they lied to him. And this is going to happen to you. When you start calling around asking about your money, they're going to start telling you stuff. And that stuff may not be true. They're going to start telling, oh, well, if you roll over that money, it's going to get a surrender charge. No, it's not. The only way to get a surrender charge if you got a loan against it. But if you don't have any loans against your money, it'll roll over just fine. That's what they told this gentleman. Well, the fees you going to pay. Ain't no fees, bro. And now they've called and say, hey, listen, can we talk to you before you decide that you want to move this money? Can we talk to you? And he's like, yeah, we can talk, but I'm still moving the money. And I'm just saying that to say, they won't even let him touch his money for 2 more years. We're showing him how he can get his money within a year. And again, he'll have more money than what he knows what to do with at this time. So I just wanted to get on and share that with y'all. I hope that you all got some value out of that. I hope that what I said actually resonates with you and it drives you to go and look at your retirement. Let me help you. I'm going to say this real quick. Y'all know I don't mean no harm, but again, I love you enough to tell you the truth. Your retirement is your responsibility. It's not your employer's responsibility to make sure that you have retirement. It's your responsibility. And again, there are ways that you can self-fund your retirement and know where your money is, and you don't have to worry about any losses. There is a way, and that's the way that we do. That's what we offer here at Generational Wealth Builders. So again, that's what I wanted to share with you all today. I hope that you got some value for it. I hope you'll like, share it, and tell somebody about it. Listen, again, remember tomorrow at noon Central Standard Time, we will be interviewing the great Anquan Bolden, formerly of the Baltimore Ravens, the Arizona Cardinals, and the San Francisco 49ers. So again, for all those folk out there that love those teams, yeah, man, he's going to be on here. So we want to see your face in the place. All right, well, listen, that's all I have. May the Lord bless you. Listen, we love y'all. Remember what we always say, knowledge is power, but it's not power until it's actually applied. You've actually got to put it in gear. You've actually got to do something with it, and then it will work out for you. All right, well, listen, y'all take care. Have a wonderful day. May the Lord bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.